smart when it comes to material things, means they are super smart, and that's why it becomes more destructive, because you have all these intellect and you are just doing the material and you are not balancing it with higher, so it goes totally crazy. Yeah. So let's see what he says about alpa buddhi, means small intellect.
Okay. Once an individual refuses to recognize the divine presence of truth, embracing an underlying life, he will function in life as self-centered, selfish entity, endlessly striving to eke out his own personal satisfaction from the material world, seeking complete fulfillment in the gratification of his sensual urges. He strives hard but discovers only a carping disappointment, a burning hunger, and a sense of defeat in life. Krishna is an infinite kindness, sympathizes with such men and calls them men of small intellect.
So Swamiji thinks that he is actually sympathizing by calling them small intellect. My God, and then he saw that what happens. I thought that was so, that disappointment, burning hunger and sense of defeat. Somebody like Hitler, he did all those nasty stuff and then he committed suicide. Because वो खुद का satisfaction भी नहीं मिला ना उसको कुछ करने में. So that's what it is. Fierce deeds. Because they do horrible stuff, yeah.
If a materialist does not want to believe in the eternal reality, and if others must believe in some permanent truth, why not follow equal freedom to both, the believers and non-believers? This is a natural question that will arise in any man, if he be truly democratic and tolerant in his point of view. Anticipating such a doubt in a sincere student, Krishna says in the second line of the stanza that when an individual loses his faith in the higher reality, he becomes licentious at all levels of his expression. Prompted by his selfish urges to seek and discover his fulfillment in life, he would perhaps ultimately bring about irremediable disasters to his era. Historically, the world today is going through the same predicament as declared and anticipated in the Gita. Materialists who do not recognize the truth, seeking its expression through life's happenings, will unconsciously bring about such a discordant note of disharmony in the community that will plunge the world into a bloody mire of disastrous wars.
So here he's saying, so problem क्या है, बोलते हैं ना लोग कि कोई एथिस्ट है तो होने दो उसको एथिस्ट, कोई मानता है वो तो ठीक है, but the danger he's telling you that if you don't believe, then what can happen is you become so selfish, so self-centered, and then all your actions are and then if you don't believe in higher self, then you will say, I'll just do what I feels good to me. Why should I think what it is good or bad to anybody else, right? So become licentious and just does things, and then it brings out disaster. So I think he's gone to the absolute core of the reason, And there are two kinds of people. One, people are like, they say they don't believe in God, but they are confused. They do believe somewhere deep inside, but they like to show off by saying, I don't believe in God. ऐसे भी लोग मिले, थोड़े से confused हैं, मगर अंदर ना.
My son is one of them.
Yes, and they son to do it for the parents.
I think that generation, lot of them.
Yeah, and you know
Not
what?
only your son.
Maybe when I was young, even I was confused. I didn't know. Well,
Yeah, because when we were young, we wanted to know, so is there really a God?
36.
And उसका
पर
definition.
वो टाइम पे कोई आके बोलेगा तुमको
नहीं,
bow down करो, ये वो
not
मत
nice.
करे भाई, हमको नहीं मालूम.
like
But I know he believes inside
Yeah,
because he's a very good human being.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so we are not talking about those. They will discover one day, slowly, okay? But there are others who just, from their deep in their heart only just don't. So I'm going to do what I like, man. Forget it about the world. World can go to hell, That's what it is. So that's the danger if you don't. When you have something, harmony, and you see oneness in the world, you will not do that, because even if you think about, save your earth, अभी जो यहाँ पर चला हुआ इतना बड़ा अभियान, वो बाद में क्यों आया? क्योंकि पहले किसी ने ध्यान ही नहीं दिया. फेंको, मारो, काटो, कुछ भी करो, पर हम लोग के ओल्ड कल्चर में जाओगे तो माय गॉड, वो पेड़ को भी नमस्कार कर रहे हैं, पानी को भी नमस्कार कर रहे हैं. लाइक यू विल नेवर थिंक ऑफ polluting anything because you looked at them as gods.
Yeah.
But now they are realizing that if you don't take care of earth, will come and slap you back. And you are the one going to suffer. Earth to apne aap ko clean kar legi. You are the one who's going to get extinct and get all kind of diseases and all that.
You already are. Look at the food that we're eating.
Eating is so
And
contaminated.
it's, you unnecessarily are putting on weight, even if you're not eating, because of the so much of pesticide and.
And also I've heard that all the medicines that people buy, and half of it we don't eat and we throw, all gets into the water and all that. पता नहीं क्या उसके levels बढ़ते जा रहे हैं सारे.
Toxic.
Toxic
खाओगे
level.
तो भी नहीं खाओगे तो भी वो medicines जो बन
Because,
रही हैं chemicals.
These
they-
pharmaceutical
yeah.
companies, and now things are going so out of control. So out of control. My husband had some
Everyone
kind
is
of a
in trying
foot
to make
fungal or
money.
something, and the cream is $3,000.
What?
Wow.
And he did not believe it when the doctor, but he didn't have to pay because he had insurance. So he said, let me just go online search. And if you don't have insurance, that's what they're selling for.
$3,000.
Yeah,
$3,000 for one little cream. And my husband said, in
Wow.
India, you can get it for 150 rupees.
The injection I take, it's very
अपना
little
वाला वाला
amount,
नीम का
and it's
तेल है,
$1,250 a week. 1,250.
So who's doing it? The pharmaceutical company. Nobody's controlling them. They are just putting up whatever
Yeah,
price
yeah.
they want. So what I'm
For
saying
the
is,
arthritis. They are the people on top who are
And
making
all
the money.
these
So why will they
medicines
put
are
the
coming
control?
from India. That is why they are cheap there, and they are putting it
What
so
for
high.
you to
the
travel
market.
every year?
I Even I went last time for my tablets. I was short of them. So she said, your insurance doesn't covers it. Pay $300. I said, I don't want to pay.
I know.
I don't want for $300. My son will send from there, and that same you get 10 tablets strip for 400 there.
So yeah, the thing is that they are just ruining the earth, ruining the economy. It's just sad what is happening. Anyway,
They're
so
more interested in their money than getting
yes, yes, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
you know like
making money.
My
they
doctor
are
was saying
in-
even these Chinese people are going to India to buy medicines. Because China mein medicines are
Oh, they'll
expensive.
soon take over and manufacture them. They
But
don't
Chinese are using their
Chinese
herbs.
are
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't need
Chinese are
They're
really
making all
the
beautiful
herbs of
saris over there.
Everybody's not using herbs.
Yeah.
okay, let's see. Should we do one or two more?
Yes.
For,
The
this?
main purpose is to say by all these companies are
Yeah, it's
want to make
11:35.
only
Let's
money.
do the 10 now. 10.
Huh? 10 kare?
Yeah.
Okay. Just-
Kama, ma, Shreya.
We'll just read the English translation.
Okay. Filled with insatiable desires, full of hypocrisy, pride, and arrogance, holding evil ideas through delusion, they work with impure resolves. The gruesome ugliness of the inner nature of a pure materialist, as he struts about in the field of his achievements, cannot be better expressed than what Vyasa has accomplished in the stanza. For a more vivid and thorough depiction of the mental contents of the diabolically fallen, for a clearer description of the quality and texture of his activities in society, one has to go ransacking the entire existing literature of all the languages in the world, only to fail to find a parallel to this pregnant verse.
So he's just telling you how Krishna Bhagwan described 5,000 years ago. कि वो लोग क्या क्या करते हैं. Okay.
Filled with insatiable desires, activities are not at all possible unless they are instigated by desires. Where desires have ended, the expression of dynamic life in achievements is impossible. And yet to remain as victims of desires is to be some horrid machines of activity, vomiting out into the world an inner poison of ego and egocentric passions. To sustain life only for the satisfaction of desires is unintelligent, for they have a knack of multiplying themselves as we go on satisfying them one after another. They are hard to appease. Filled with insatiable desire, when a man uses his intelligence, abilities, and knowledge, he naturally brings about an endless stream of disturbances in and around him.
So here the most important thing is insatiable desire.
Yeah.
Because he's saying without desire we cannot function. But if you just give in to desire the whole time, then
Yeah.
like he said, when
Like
Krishna Bhagwan
putting this thing ghee in the
ghee
fire.
in the fire, it keeps
Yeah.
and then it's like he uses these words that is vomiting out of all our inner poison of ego and egocentric passions.
बोलते हैं ना ईशा का पेट कभी बढ़ता नहीं है.
एक दृष्टांत सुना कि एक आदमी जो है ना एक he had some kind of bowl. Okay, so he goes to the king and he says मेरा bowl भर दो. तो सुना है? But you can, तो वो उसमें जो भी डालता था ना गायब हो जाता था. मतलब it could, सुनिए ये वाली दृष्टांत.
It had a hole, no?
No, it didn't have a hole. So उसने बोला कि ये है क्या? You know, कि सब चीज गायब हो जाती, मेरा आधा खजाना खत्म हो गया भाई. So इसे मैंने ना वहाँ श्मशान से उठाया, आदमी की खोपड़ी है ये.
Yeah, it doesn't feel lonely.
I thought it was such a great.
Full of hypocrisy, pride, conceit, and arrogance. Desire is but an expression of the ego when the seeker seeks a permanent satisfaction and infinite fulfillment through sense enjoyments.
एक डिग्री
एक
बढ़ा.
मिनट. Yeah. तो
You want to increase?
No, I think इधर से हवा आ रही है बहुत
तो
तेज.
बंद कर दो.
बंद कर दूं?
फैन behind you.
हाँ, फैन बंद कर दो इससे थोड़ा फर्क पड़ेगा. Just turn that.
वो switch. हाँ, okay.
Switch भी है क्या? Switch तो
हाँ,
लटका ही है.
एक फैन का एक
AC is
लाइट.
We don't
coming
need the light
directly
right
on
now.
you. That AC might be coming directly on you.
Yes.
You can change the direction. You can come
नहीं,
here.
I think फैन से फर्क पड़ गया.
Okay, so why don't you read that again because you got
Full of
interrupted.
hypocrisy, pride, conceit, and arrogance. Desire is but an expression of the ego when the seeker seeks a permanent satisfaction and infinite fulfillment through sense enjoyments. When he is thus deluded in the misconception of his ego vanity, negative tendencies such as hypocrisy, pride, and arrogance will naturally rise up, and smothered by them, he ceaselessly strives to satisfy the unending demands of his own unbridled desires.
So he's saying that how unsatiable desire leads to hypocrisy, conceit, and arrogance. That's what he's saying. So there is a whole chain. Okay.
Then victims of delusion. Desire cannot come to the all fulfilled. Desire can come only to him who fails to feel his own infinitude and expresses himself as a limited ego, jiva. Forgetting his own divine nature in his identification with the unreal things and values of life, he develops in himself a hunger to enjoy peace and happiness. Naturally, numerous desires arise in him, and seeking fulfillment of all such desires, he indulges in sense gratification.
So it's like he's victim of delusion. He doesn't know about his infinitude nature, and that's why he does it.
Yeah. They work with impure resolve. The mental biography of the diabolically fallen
Asura.
asuras is complete in a sequence when the stanza says that the ego, desperately struggling to gain inner peace, must necessarily forsake all consideration for others, ignore all noble values of life, and enter into the fields of activity shamelessly intolerant, inconsiderate, and even brutal. Drunk with passions, opiated with his own desires, he works in the world as a maniac, hurling blood and acid, death and disaster all around him in the community, my God.
I know. So it's like,
The way he expresses himself, it's
but that's what we need to wake us up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, वो कुछ असर ही नहीं होएगा. Because when he uses, oh my God, like I don't want to be.
Like
Even
that.
if I have trace of something, let me get rid of it. Yeah. So last paragraph, just read that.
The picture viewed macrocosmically shows a materialist
No, the
building
terrorists कर
life
सकते हैं ना. There is a they are
Upon-
earning blood and
the restless waves of his desire-tossed mind. The same word painting, when looked at macrocosmically, portrays vividly the ugliness of the materialistic communities and nations.
So I just want to say what he means over here is one is microcosm. So अपनी दुनिया में तो वो गड़बड़ करता ही है, मगर अगर पूरी कम्युनिटी में ज़्यादा लोग ऐसे आ गए तो फिर पूरी कम्युनिटी सफ़र करती है. And we know that. Yes, that's what he's talking about. Yeah. Life's beauty.
Life's beauty depends upon the beauty of the philosophy upon which it is built. If the foundations are false, the edifice, however strongly built, will prove to be no better than a cod castle. The economic breakup, social evils, political upheavals, and general restlessness that are found all over the world are all thoroughly discussed in this stanza, if we know how to read them all into it.
One more paragraph.
It is also interesting to know how Krishna, while explaining the diabolically fallen asuras, without directly saying so, is painting the picture of a materialist who by nature is an atheist in thought and a tireless hunter of pleasure in action. In this age of materialism, don't we prove ourselves faithful to the type just now discussed?
So he's saying he didn't say in so many words कि वो atheist बगैर हम लोग ने पहले ही conclude कर लिया था कि there are people who are die-hard atheists and just think that everything is material. मतलब उससे क्या नुकसान हो सकता है दुनिया को और खुद को? That's what he's saying. Why somebody is good? Let's analyze it. Why you want to be good?
I'm trying to think from their.
I know from their perspective also.
It makes you feel good.
To
Your
make
conscience doesn't
Yeah.
permit
If you are
to
in the
become
right
that.
mode, then
देखो
to
जो
be
बुरा
good.
काम कर रहा है उसको
Suppose-
he is
suppose-
also feeling good तभी तो वो करता है वो बुरा काम.
No, that's not. I think maybe my question is wrong. Somewhere these good people who do good stuff, somewhere inside they believe that by helping others I am getting happiness.
Yeah.
So he does believe in that oneness.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, but they say they don't believe in God. They don't
छिपा
believe.
हुआ
That's why I
है,
said
they
there are two
believe.
kinds of people. One are a little bit
Yeah.
confused, and
Yeah.
one are like, hey, they cannot see anything but themselves. It's like if you think about what Hitler did, he thought कि भाई ये एक community को मेरे को extinct करना है. Then how far he went in doing that? Because he thinks his point of view is correct. Because if you go in other chapters, like in chapter 17, it comes. What is a sattvic buddhi? What is a rajasic buddhi? And what is a tamasic buddhi? Sattvic buddhi is when I see oneness and the substract. I mean, everybody does sattvic. Rajasic says, I will not hurt somebody as long as it doesn't hurt me. If they hurt me, I'm going to hurt them. That's rajasic. And the tamasic thinks, मैं जो सोचता हूँ वही सही है, दुनिया में तो सब बेवकूफ हैं.
नहीं, but in atheist also there are rajasic, there are sattvic, rajasic and tamasic atheist too.
No, but see from Krishna's perspective how he's classifying them. That if you see, when you say I don't believe in God, maybe they don't believe in the way it is practiced in today's world. They don't believe, but they somewhere in their heart they do believe in that oneness.
I met a lady when I was in Aspen, Colorado, and I took her out for dinner. She was from like a very highly educated lady, and we discussed, but I couldn't counteract. I couldn't satisfy her. Like she's highly educated, and I said, so what you believe? You like there is any higher power? No. It's all.
But that's why we keep saying that the higher education has nothing to do with sattvic.
Yeah, that's
Rajasic.
intellect.
No, but
Yeah.
she's extremely nice lady.
She can be very nice also.
She is very nice. She does very good activities. She's in charge of the book club.
But that doesn't qualify.
Mandukya Upanishad is about this only. The individual soul, how it is rising from ignorance, how it is going in different stages. यही तो है मांडुक्य उपनिषद. तो जो वो इंडिविजुअल सोल जो अभी नई वो स्थिति में पहुंचा है, पर इंटेलेक्ट से वो सब काम अच्छा कर लेता है, तो वो अच्छा कर लेता है. फिर वो करते करते फिर उसको अच्छा करके फिर वो धीरे से समझेगा बाद में कि अच्छा फिर उसके बाद बिकॉज यू आर लुकिंग फॉर समथिंग मोर, यू डोंट स्टॉप. So then will go into the next step. जो ये मांडुक्य उपनिषद में है, this is what मांडुक्य उपनिषद is about.
This was so
The individual
amazing
soul
for
and
me.
is rising.
No, she could be very intelligent, she could be a good person. But they could be non-believers too.
Yeah, she was like
Yeah, but when we say non-believers, when these people say I don't believe in God, what God are you talking about? Firstly,
we are born in India and we are born with these things like
Yeah.
soul is there. It's
It's ingrained in us, yeah.
but I was so
She
amazed
didn't know
that
anything about soul also.
no.
Oh.
And they don't believe in rebirth.
No, but what
They
she
don't
is
believe-
Khate khate, this is what Manduk Upanishad is about.
See,
The individual soul and its rising, how it rises from different stages. तो वो इंटेलेक्ट से होशियार हो गई है, हो करके एक दिन ऐसा आएगा कि
Intellect, so
उसका
hushar and very nice human being.
yeah, she can be very nice human being. क्योंकि
But does
intellect
she
से
believe
होशियार हो
that
गई,
what
human
you sow, so
being
shall
नहीं
you
होगी
reap?
तो धक्का खाएगी.
yeah, that's a good point.
She believes in that.
So
Okay.
then she is
So
already
that's the
believing in a
theory
higher
of karma.
Yes.
There is no difference between that and
But
karma.
she doesn't believe because she doesn't believe in reincarnation.
Karma
So they
will work
believe
on
like
her
whatever
anyway,
we
whether
do,
she
we
believes
get
or
it
doesn't
here
believe.
in this lifetime.
Okay, then if she doesn't, I had one question for her. If she doesn't believe in reincarnation, then when a baby is born, one is born in a rich family with a
Yeah,
very
right.
loving, one is born with a disease. How does she justify
She
that?
was justifying, she was highly educated and she has all this. I can't explain the way she was because I had lot of questions. I was so curious to know. Like, oh my gosh.
See-
so how this whole universe is happening? What is going on? What you believe in? And she says, because this is all, she was scientifically explaining.
Scientifically, you can explain anything, but there'll be always gaps. And you know, the ultimate
And
satisfaction you
I-
want.
No, no,
found
there is a
myself-
theory in science, which is, I had read that in, I don't know, it's Ashby or somebody, which talks about that through optimization, the net result is you. In other words, the universe, they destroy something, they create something, and then
Just
some
creates a
survive.
balance.
And
So
they-
through
they-
survival, that's what is left. So that's one theory like that.
See, there are many theories out there, many
Yeah.
things, and people connect to different things, and that's perfectly fine. That's why I keep saying again and again in this class, we are not worried about what A
Yeah.
thinks, B thinks, C thinks, D thinks. What do I want to do? And Krishna Bhagwan has taken the entire Upanishad, brought it to you in a scientific manner.
Yeah.
So instead of thinking what A is doing, does it fit here? Does B is doing? Does it fit here? No. We should change our thinking.
Yeah.
I want to
We have
understand
to
what Krishna Bhagwan is saying,
Saying.
and can I benefit from it? And then your mind will become quiet. Because the moment we start thinking that what is A, B, C, we are not in this class here to discuss them or worry about, because they are at a different level. Maybe one day they will find, maybe not. They are happy. If they are happy, who are we to tell them who's God and who's not? हम लोग आए हैं because
अपने
we want
उद्धार के लिए
अपने उद्धार के लिए.
Yeah.
So when
We
we
are
come to
coming
this
here
kind of
for
study
our
group, it's very
improvement.
important to
We
know,
are coming
because when I
here
first joined the
for
class,
our
the
our
teacher
own
asked us,
improvement.
why are you here? Because some people may be here to dispute this theory, then might not
Yeah.
leave.
No.
I'm just saying. I'm saying. So there are many theories out there, many viewpoints, and if they feel happy where they are, we have absolutely no business changing.
There's
their
every-
mind.
Everything under
Actually,
this
I was
kind,
feeling
in this
so
world, no?
ignorant
Huh?
in front of
Nothing
her.
new.
भगवान ने
Because
सब तरह के
the
लोग
theory
बनाए.
she was, I never heard of those. I never
And
heard
there are
of them.
hundreds of them. That's why
पर उमा
sometimes.
ये क्लास जो है ना ये
हाँ.
अपने
That
इम्प्रूवमेंट
मैंने already बोला ये बात.
बस.
और if there are two, three Swami, if you are interested.
जानता
हम
है
लोग
हाँ.
that almighty power. बोले बच्चे के बन जाता है बच्चा, तो उसमें प्राण कौन डालता है?
नहीं,
है कोई साइंटिफिक रीजन? टेल मी. उसमें प्राण कौन डालता है?
I know you are right, because
Huh?
they cannot create life in
Yeah.
test tube.
Have they any scientific reason who puts this thing pran in the child?
Not only that, you cannot create life.
They
Yeah.
raise that almighty power.
Yes.
we
टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी क्रिएट हो रहे
we
हैं
believe in we believe
No,
in
no,
what
test tube
we are
हो रहे हैं,
believing.
but उसमें जो
and
consciousness
whatever
है वो.
whatever way we studied, like अपने इंडिया से कनेक्टिंग जो भी फेथ है, चाहे वो आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग, चाहे वो
आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग इज नॉट अ फेथ, इट्स जस्ट
Whatever, just a
whatever,
way of
like
thinking.
whatever is the way, they all talk about the same
Art
thing.
of living.
You know why?
It's
Because
not
like she's
faith.
saying, art of living, everything is coming from Vedanta and Veda only.
yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't
So we are very convinced whatever path we choose, I go deeper and we find the same
No, but
thing.
there are so many white people who 100% connect to this.
Oh yeah, in
There are so
SRF,
many, and there are
SRF,
Indians
men-
who don't connect to it at all. You know, I know so many people. They will say, in fact, one of my relatives way back
India,
then.
Balki, is the least adhyatmic place. If you go there, population-wise, how many people really know all this stuff which we are studying?
Small percentage. That's what
Very,
they say.
very few.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Western go to India, there's so much there.
They learn a lot.
But the Indian.
But I want to tell you a couple of things, that if you are interested in this cross between the Western philosophy and Indian, there are 2-3 Swamis who are very, very good at it. One is Sarvapriyananji.
Yeah,
You know,
he's-
he studies both. And there are 2 or 3, and if you hear their talk, they can take stuff from here and they can tell you the differences, they can tell you, and that will really clear a lot of doubts, you know. So I think you should listen to
Also,
him.
regarding this, I'll give you 2 observations. One, when you yourself are what we call as completely satisfied, yourself, then you start helping others.
You have to learn it yourself.
When you yourself are lacking, now it could be old age, your leg hurts, your tooth hurts, then that becomes deficient. So there are these 2 stages, you know. So if you go through that stage, when you are there, then everything looks great to you. So that's the difference.
I think we
It
need
has
help.
nothing to do with God. This is like the way the human works.
Nisha got sick in the morning. She
But
said,
Mandukya Upanishad is this only. Individual soul, how it is rising. इसका पूरा science है.
Also, another thought occurred to me that consciousness is everywhere, right? So, consciousness is the one which connects to our body to keep us alive or dead. I mean, like our prana that disappears. So, we used to hear stories that somebody died and they did a mantra and they made him get up. What they did was all this consciousness exists in the universe and they connected it to the body.
जब हम लोग नाड़ी परीक्षा करते हैं तो क्या कॉन्शियसनेस है?
हाँ.
जो नाड़ी परीक्षा करता है उसकी कॉन्शियसनेस और तुम्हारी कॉन्शियसनेस.
Right, right.
वो हम लोग we are connecting it and we are reading that
Yeah.
person's body.
that's what you were
Right.
saying, no? Expanding the consciousness so that
right.
you can see what is happening.
Right.
And then my husband showed me this video and I was so amazed. There is somebody in India who trains these young girls to see with closed eyes.
Oh, okay.
हाँ?
हाँ.
तो उसने
Yeah.
और उन्होंने वो एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, पूरा पट्टी वट्टी सारी
Right,
बांध दी,
right.
and she
And
was
third eye is open.
and then she could see कि उसने कौन सा शर्ट पहना है, कलर, ये everything she knew. So they
Yeah,
can
but
see
they are
without seeing.
remotely, like this Japanese girl.
Yeah,
she
you're
was in
right.
Virginia and she can see. I went to the beach.
Yeah,
So it's like
Yeah.
those skills exist.
Yeah, even this Dr. Lal, he led
I think some people
through my
know it
part,
naturally.
Nadi, he read
Yeah.
whole thing of Shri.
Some are mind readers.
No,
some
but
are-
how does it happen? That's what we are discussing, because there has to be some link between that area and there.
No,
So
no,
there has to be same
there is
consciousness.
definitely a
everywhere.
link.
That's what we are trying to say.
Like I was doing the Shani part in Delhi, and then she calls a message from Shiv. Both times, start and end. So Shiv and Shani have to be connected. Because she has no idea in Virginia that Shiv is sending you a message.
Yeah, yeah, there is that.
See, हम लोग believe करते हैं तो हम लोग को real लगता है.
Yeah.
What you are
बाकी लोग बोलेंगे क्या वैसे ही बोल रहे हैं।
नहीं, नहीं, but they will say coincidence.
बोलते नहीं है, आपको याद कर रहे थे.
No,
उसकी
because I
phone
asked
आता
her,
है.
how did you know?
We believe for our own experience.
No.
We're not believing because it's written in books. We're believing because हम लोग ने थोड़ा कुछ experience
No, but when I asked her, she said it's
like
like a phone call rings, you know. Like that when there was a fire and I wasn't moving because I was so sick, she called. So I said, how did you know to call? She said, phone call ring. Joe is not moving, call him.
And
In
she got
Virginia.
that
Message.
literally message. Yes, yes.
So it's, to me, I mean, that's first hand. I know that.
Exactly. This is your own experience.
Yeah. So
You're not listening.
unless you have it, obviously nobody will believe.
Yeah, because when you experience that the whole time, telepathy and all
Yeah.
that, when you're experiencing कोई बीमार है who's very dear to you, how you automatically pick up the
Yeah,
phone
you
and
know.
ask
Yeah.
कि how you feeling.
Because I remember this Dinesh and Gisla, his daughter had gone to Alaska for fishing and she had a car accident and they didn't have her number. And so Gisla was worried. So I said, why don't you sit on the sofa, think about her. And we left their house, we reached our house, she called, oh, she did that and she called from there. So it works.
Okay, let's go to Mandukya now. But there's one just opinion about something. We should not bother
No,
change
no, no.
it. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
not for like she has very strong opinion.
And sometimes it's good to hear their perspective, and I
Just
always
like-
do.
No, but I always like to talk to people
Yes,
who
yes.
have opposite
talking
view.
to people and I met her in the
Because from
hotel.
them also you
and
learn
I just
something.
invited her. Let's go
It's not that we
out
are-
for dinner.
But
And dinner
logic तो
table,
कोई
we
भी
were
मिल
just
जाएगा.
discussing, and I was impressed She was very intelligent and very, but
No, but Buddha, if you watch the Buddha series, so the guy, he talks about no God. And in fact, this guy comes to him and he's very knowledgeable and he said, what are you going to teach me? And he said, what do you want to know? And he says, what do you teach everybody else? He says, Buddha, within you can make it get up. That was his whole point. So that was nothing to do with God.
and you know, she
And-
When
ended
the
up,
time comes,
she
then-
ended up listening
Of course,
to my
that's
thoughts
Time nahi aayega
because they
to
were very unique.
No, but he
and
was
she
telling
was-
you practices you
oh
do
my God,
by
I
which
never
you
knew about this.
Yeah.
जागृत
And
कर
the
सकते
thought-
हैं.
now you're so on the
जब
scene,
टाइम
now she'll
आएगा
read
तो
about it.
जागृतता आएगी.
Yeah.
तो
So I
इसलिए
said,
इसलिए
it's
तो what
not
I was
good.
saying,
Two,
don't
three
do anything.
conversation
Yeah.
going on at the same time. Everybody come
Yeah.
together, one at a time. कौन बोल रहा है?
She's agreeing with me 100%. I
That-
agree. When time comes, then it happens. So my question always was, then why bother?
You know why bother? 1 minute. Why are you in this class?
Because I can tell the reasoning, but
Food is good, right?
no. Food is not.
I'm
good.
just kidding.
Because you enjoy it.
You know,
No,
you
no,
know,
no.
I was
It got started because Satyan told me to join.
Why are you sticking to it?
Because I'm learning, part of my book, I'm learning inputs from people of different.
तो आप एफर्ट तो कर ही रहे हो ना, नहीं तो अपने बिस्तर पे बैठो तो मेरे को ज्ञान
No.
पर
So what happens is, if you don't initiate, the universe takes you that way. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Of course.
It doesn't mean that you you don't do anything.
Yes.
Because everybody will do something.
All these saints are still sitting in that only, na?
You know, if you have that desire somewhere for liberation, things will come to you. That's what it is.
you know.
No, because did you see that Shiva thing I sent you?
Yes.
You know
Okay.
this.
So that Kangana Ranawat.
I know, but वो कंगना रनावत का question and all that, it's like
No, she was okay.
we are
but,
Vedantic
but
student, man.
no,
What
no.
are you talking about? कि वो
No,
when
but he was
walking up-
patiently answering her.
He was,
Okay,
because these
so-
saints are very kind.
No.
No, because he wants to start
Yeah,
truth
exactly.
and truth.
Yeah, right.
So this is the way, a good way to encourage.
No,
all
but
these
I thought
youngsters
she
to
asked that-
But
ask
for
questions
us, you know,
and
No,
we
but
are-
she told a very good question.
At least you ask
She
her
said, is Shiv an alien? And the reason which she said was, because I get command every day from an alien, because I don't think about it, then I get up in the morning and I get this thought. So who's sending me that thought?
I know, but the
That is
thing
the alien is
why are you
sending me
calling
that
it an alien? Because you are part of that whole thing.
No, but
The
that,
word alien is like
At her-
वो कोई और है, मैं कोई और हूँ.
no, but at her level, she was talking
Yes,
about
yes.
these
I
external
understand.
forces.
For her level is fine, but for us we should feel that oneness कि भाई वो alien कुछ है ही नहीं इस संसार में. Everything is one only.
You know, this is what happened when I was talking to that lady. We had long discussion, and then I started talking about what I feel, what I think, and she was very much interested, and she never heard of these
Right,
things.
right. So
And
that happens.
this is what I was thinking. I was telling her that this was not a coincidence that we met together,
No, it was
and I
probably
brought you
planned.
for dinner.
Yeah, it is all part
I
of
said,
the deal.
you go to book club, you are in charge of this book club, and she came to Aspen also for book club meetings, and I said, you read only the books which you like. Maybe after meeting me,
She will
start looking for some other kind of books now.
She needed that thing. You come and talk about it. So that opened up some window in her place. And you know, similar thing happened when I was in Banaras. There's one professor. He calls himself total atheist, but somehow he ended up in some policeman took him to the Kashi Vishwanath temple on Shivratri day, and he had a amazing experience. And he was totally shaken up. And he told me, he said, मैं तो एकदम atheist हूँ, मेरे साथ कैसे हो गया? Now I have to start thinking कि मुझे करना क्या है? And you know, like, and his students were coming and he started talking to me, and then he's telling student, no, जाओ यहाँ से 2 घंटे के बाद आना. He was so interested कि भाई मेरे को experience
See,
को analyze करे
every
मुझे
one
ये
of
experience.
us, if we go back thinking, something has triggered,
Yes,
and that is in everybody's life. It
Right.
doesn't matter who you are.
yes.
And so once it triggers, then it automatically takes.
And they call it grace of God when it
Yeah.
triggers. Yes.
It is like that example they gave when there was there was a minaret, and that princess was captured there, and this guy had to bring her up. तो वो शहद लगाता है उस पे धागे पे, and so the धागा शहद जो है उससे वो ऊपर जाती रहती है चींटी, and that's how the धागा reaches all the way. So same way, once you get that shahad, then you start moving up, And then nobody is telling you to do something. It happens.
You're doing it because you want to. I mean, this class is totally volunteer,
want
right?
to
Nobody
nahi
is
hona
pushing
chahiye.
us. We're not little kids that somebody's saying, go
Want to
here.
nahi hai. It should be driven.
Same thing, whatever. When you want
When
to
you
mean-
want something, that is your selfish need.
That's just an
want.
expression, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
A karma mode. That's what she was asking about. Karma, everybody does. So when you go in a karma, you don't do
I
it.
think what she's saying is there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita where he says that if you are born as a jiva, you have to do action.
I know.
You cannot live without action. Now
मैं
the
उसी
question
chapter
is,
की उसी chapter को बोल रहा हूँ.
how to, what
They are
action
karma,
to do?
karma or vikarma.
Yeah.
So Krishna Bhagavan never did any
Karam,
karma.
Vikram, yeah.
See, he never did
वो
any karma.
करते हुए वो न्यारा था.
Because
Yeah.
if you can only be in akarma mode if you realize the oneness. Then only you can be. Otherwise you cannot.
Also, then
The ego comes in. मैं कर रहा हूँ, मैं कर रहा हूँ, मैं कर रहा हूँ. पर है कौन तू को चीज ही नहीं है कोई तो फिर
नहीं,
करेगा
नहीं,
कैसे?
and also you are doing because the universe is taking you that way because you are part of the universe.
Right. So there
That
is
is
some
what
bigger
the-
force is there.
Right.
You know, and you are just part of the whole network. That's all. Yeah. Okay. Here's Shanti Path. Together. Om Bhadram Karne Vishnunyam Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthire Rangai Sushtuvagam Sastanuhi Vyashem Devahitam Yadayu Swasti na Indro Vridashavaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti na Stashcharyo Arishtanemi Swasti no Bruhaspati Pratatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we were at, we finished